What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. For those of you stopping by for the first time, if you see something that you like on this video here today, please don't forget to subscribe at some point during this video. Those of you stopping by that have been here before, welcome back to TLTG Reviews, my friends. Glad you came to see me. So today I figured we would do another cheapy video, believe it or not. A lot that I've been wanting to discuss for a while. So today we're going to discuss 10 cheap fragrance alternatives to some more popular fragrances. It costs a little bit more. Stay tuned. So jumping right off into it's one that now that it's starting to warm up, you're going to see me talking about a bit more, and it's time to really start breaking it out. So Acqua di Parma Cologne, very popular fragrance, Italian cologne smell, the classic Italian bergamot, bitter citrus, super fresh vetiver fragrance. Instead of getting that, get your hands on Salvatore Ferragamo Acqua Essenziale Cologne. This smells almost one-to-one. A little bit more designer than niche on the smell, obviously, with this being a designer fragrance. But there's no denying the resemblance and the similarities in this fragrance. And you can have a 50 ml like this in the $15 to $18 range. You can have a 100 ml big full-size bottle in that $20 to $25 range online, all over the place. And the bottle just looks really cool. Those white lines in the background. Love these bottles. And the smell's even better. Don't buy Acqua di Parma. Buy Salvatore Ferragamo. Next is one that I've actually done a full review on. So when it comes to wintertime, one of the most popular fragrances that makes the top of a lot of people's list is Spice Bomb Extreme from Viktor and Rolf. But not everybody wants to spend in that $90+ range, even on the gray market, because there's not big discounts off of Spice Bomb fragrances. So there is an alternative that's a little bit sweeter, but smells very, very close and performs very similar. It's from Cremo. It's spice and black vanilla. This is like a slightly sweeter take on Spice Bomb Extreme, because the cardamom that's in this gives a sweeter spice than the typical spice profile from Spice Bomb Extreme. But there's no denying the similarities. I mean, they even colored the juice orange because the label on Spice Bomb Extreme is orange. So very clever, Cremo, very clever. And I'll tell you what, for $23 you can't go wrong. Regardless of the comparisons, this is a great cold weather, long lasting, well projecting Spice Bomb Extreme fragrance. It's almost the same. Why spend the money on that when you could get this? Next is another very, very popular men's fragrance, has been for many years. It's from Yves Saint Laurent's YSL L'Homme, the original. That creamy sandalwood smell. It's embedded in the DNA of so many fragrances, but there's a house called English Laundry, and you can tend to get their fragrances at the rack stores for anywhere from $13 to $20, depending on gift set or just a 100 ml bottle. And Riviera is basically their version of YSL L'Homme, and I actually prefer it to YSL L'Homme because I get better performance out of it. It's actually backup bottle worthy in my opinion, because I do have a backup bottle of this fragrance. It's very, very creamy. The sandalwood stands out quite a bit. It's got a slight powder to it. It's very, very similar to YSL L'Homme, and it's at a fraction of the cost. Even on discount sites, YSL L'Homme still going to run you over $50, easily over $60 for a decent sized bottle. You can get a big old bottle like this, and the smell is very, very similar for around $15 to $20. Why would you spend the money on that when you can get English Laundry Riviera? Next is one that took a little bit of time to grow on me, actually. This is one of the more popular niche fragrances out there. It's Creed Silver Mountain Water. What if I told you you could spend around $8 and get probably 90% of that smell and about the same performance, if not better? Sounds pretty good, right? Al Rehab Silver. This is an eau de parfum concentration. Very good atomizer. Oh man. Very citrus and aquatic, has that sharp metallic note, dries down slightly white floral on my skin anyways, has that frosted glass. You can get these all over online for $7, $8, $9 for this. I forgot what size bottle it is, 35 ml, so slightly over 1 ounce. Steel. This is a steal for what the level of the scent and the performance that you're going to get for your $8, I don't understand why you would want to go out and spend 150 plus, even on the gray market, for Silver Mountain water, when this smells so close and performs, like I said, just as good, if not better. I strongly advise getting your hands on Al Rehab Silver. It's a steal. So a lot of guys my age, the most popular panty dropper fragrance in high school, and I guess still is, I don't know, I'm not in high school, I'm far removed from that, it's Abercrombie and Fitch Fierce. Still fetches a pretty penny, but it doesn't perform anymore. So what do we do? So to get about the same, if not a little better performance and a whole lot cheaper, you can get a 100 milliliter bottle in that sub $30 range online all over from discounters. It's Mont Blanc Legend, and it actually smells like a slightly more mature version, but there's no denying that they were going for Abercrombie and Fitch Fierce. This smells so close, it's not even funny. Oh man, I actually had my old boss and one of my old co-workers that swore by Fierce switch to this and thank me for it, because they saved so much more money by shopping online at the discounters, Fragrance Net, places like that, and getting pretty much the same scent. A lot more bang for your buck when we're talking about Mont Blanc Legend versus Abercrombie and Fitch Fierce. I just can't understand why somebody would buy a bottle of that these days with this on the market. The #1 selling men's fragrance of all time. Still popular. Some will say it's played out. Some will say it's dated. I disagree with both because it's still a top seller for a reason. It's one of the most recognized fragrances ever. Women love the way it smells. And it still fetches a pretty penny. You're still going to pay upwards of $60+ for a large bottle on the gray market from discounters. So what to do in that situation? What to do? Oh, Perry Ellis 360 Red, a slightly spicier version, and you can get a 50 ml like this for under $15. 100 ml, right around 20, sub 20. Big giant 200 ml. You can get that just a little over $20. God, it smells so good. Long lasting, well projecting. I get every bit of 8 hours off of my skin. In the first 2 hours, it's very heavy. This is a superstar when it comes to cheap fragrances. I would argue you should get this every single time, even if your mom was to get you a fragrance for Christmas and she normally gets you Acqua di Gio. Tell her to save a few dollars and get you this instead. Do your mom a favor this Christmas. Stop making her buy you Acqua di Gio and get her to buy you Perry Ellis 360 Red. Then the budget frees up to get you something else. Just saying. Next, one of the more popular lemonade smelling fragrances. Actually, it's kind of the king of the lemonade fragrances, Dior Homme Cologne. So there's a lot of alternatives out there, but none cheaper than Choo Man Ice. This is not a one-to-one smell by any means. In the opening, it's about an 85–90% smell. The dry down, they kind of go their different ways, but it maintains the freshness. Not a strong performer, but look at that atomizer. My God, it's beautiful. Oh, smells so good. Frosted glass, you can see I've started to put a pretty good dent in that bottle. You can get a 100 milliliter bottle all over online for under $30, 50 ml like this in that $20 range. Do yourself a favor and get this. It smells like you're spraying yourself down with an ice cold glass of lemonade. Very, very refreshing, perfect to grab and go, running errands, run into the drugstore, go and have lunch. In the high heat, it doesn't get a whole lot better than Choo Man Ice. Don't spend the money on Dior Homme Cologne when you can get this for a fraction. Spice Bomb from Viktor and Rolf. I know we already talked about the extreme on this video, but that's for the coldest of weather. What about spring and fall? The original Spice Bomb is one of the kings of that. It's a compliment machine, but it still fetches a pretty penny. So what if I told you you could get almost the identical smell? And when I say a fraction of the price, I mean for a fraction of the price, in the $10 range. Beverly Hills Polo Club, Blaze. That's right. You know you've seen these at Marshall's, TJ Maxx, Ross. You've seen them all over. You never thought twice. You thought, oh, that's cheap, that's junk, I'm not going to grab that. Hidden gems, guys. Hidden gems. And this is the king of all of them, in my opinion. Blaze. It is Spice Bomb. Decent performer. Not going to blow you away. Doesn't perform as well as Viktor and Rolf Spice Bomb, but the smell, this is almost identical. Very, 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 very close. A little more synthetic, but what do you expect for the price bracket? God, it smells so good. Spice Bomb for $10 is how you can look at this one. I strongly advise the next time you're at the rack store, once they're open again, and you see a bottle of this, if you got the $10 or $12 to spare for this 50 milliliter bottle, you go ahead and pick it up. You spray it, and you thank me later. Versace Dillon Blue, one of the most talked about, most sold fragrances in the world and on YouTube. For good reason. Very versatile fragrance. It took a little bit, it grew on me. But what if I told you for $20 or less, depending on the size of the bottle you want, from the biggest to the smallest, $20 or less, you could have one that performs just about as well and smells like Versace Dillon Blue and Bleu de Chanel had a baby. Well, that would be Salvatore Ferragamo, Acqua Senziale Blue. That's right, two from the same line on this video because they're steals and they're bargains. This is my favorite blue fragrance, regardless of price. I'll take this over Versace Dillon Blue and Bleu de Chanel every single time. Those of you that have been on this channel before, you know I'm a giant fan of this one. Those of you new to the channel, I'm a giant fan of this one. Just saying. You can have a 50 ml in that $15, $18 range, just like Colognes. Sub 22, 23, 20, 21, depending on where you find it for the big bottle, for the 100 milliliter. And then, love that click. This is a great fragrance. It doesn't get much more versatile. You can wear this year round. This can be your signature scent. I strongly advise you get your hands on Acqua Senziale Blue from Salvatore Ferragamo. And then last, Creed Aventis. You know we couldn't have a video like this without something from Creed Aventis. And no, not Club de Nuit Intense Man. Yes, that one's great. Don't get me wrong. But I feel like we need to get a little bit cheaper than that. $20 range for a 100 milliliter bottle. Smells very close in the opening. Closer than Club de Nuit Intense Man. Dry down's a little bit muskier. Great fragrance nonetheless. 5 to 6 hour performer. Decent projection early on. Rayon Tradition. Insurrection Pure 2. It's definitely a Creed Aventis clone. There's no denying that when you smell it. Very close in the opening. The blackcurrant, the pineapple, the bergamot, the apple. You're going to get the vanilla in the dry down. You do get some smokiness. No doubt, Creed Aventis clone. And look at this beautiful bottle. That white to clear frosted look by the paint design. The paneling on the side, Insurrection 2. Metal cap with the logo. Logo on top, the atomizer. Attention to detail was definitely done. Box right here, but who cares about the box? Back to the fragrance. I strongly advise you try this one. Hell, get the 3 big players, really. Get Wild and get, what's the other one? I'm drawing a blank here, sorry guys. Pure, Wild, and I'm drawing a blank, sorry. Anyways, Pure 2 is great. I would strongly suggest trying this one if you don't want one that's going to be overwhelming and overpowering, because Club de Nuit Intense Man can be in the opening. This is going to be the cleaner, lighter version of that. That's a bit more versatile in the warmer weather, and it smells very close to Creed Aventis. Everybody wants to wear something Creed Aventis, and I strongly suggest you make it Insurrection Pure 2 from Rayon Tradition. So until next time, guys, do me a real quick favor. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. I do appreciate all the feedback. I love hearing from you guys. How many of these do you already have? How many of these have you heard of? How many of these do you not like? I mean, let me know in the comments. It is what it is. I love to hear the feedback. And until next time, I will say, if you get your hands on any of these 10 picks here today, give them a spray now. Real good chance you'll thank me later, because you're going to save some money. Have a good one, guys.